Welcome to another edition of your favorite program, a program designed to inform you about what is the happenings in the society, especially where we review the daily newspaper. It's an informative and educative program. Journalists explain this. I'm Lekoniso, your friend in the School of Wisdom, and with me present today is Mustafa Oyekonsola. Oyekonsola, how are you? How has it been today? Okay. You're looking at your face shows that in fact you're comfortable. And to the glory of God, the fast Ramadan is ending today. Tomorrow you break your fast. So now today we're looking at the very germane issues on today's newspaper. And by the grace of God, our guest today is the state correspondent of the Nation newspaper, and do I say chief or alagba or whatever? Ernest Uwokolo. You work on the program, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you for welcoming me and thank you for.
This is Nstv Lagos. Okay, we have to look at this one. And Ernest, today in the newspaper, if you flip through the newspaper today, you see they are talking about the domestic affairs. We talk about publicity. And when we now come to Ogun State, we see where the governor appointed a journalist and Nosoya as the head of service and some other things. Let's start with the domestic affairs, where Ibrahim Abubakar, that residing in Sabu, he has to push out, maybe because it's a pusher, has to push out his wife. No, not has to push out in northern part of the country. So maybe he's a pusher. That's what he has to push out his wife. How do you see it? Then a man has to push out or kill his wife.
I don't really. Okay. I don't really show you. Yes, that was quite unfortunate. A time like this, in a region where the largely Muslim population, where they are observing the holy Ramadan, the time of spiritual exercise, where they seek the face of God for repentance, to abandon bad deeds and embrace good deeds. Yes. So, and for such a thing to be happening at this time is quite unfortunate, and it tells a lot that the person has not been able to yield himself onto spiritual exercise at this way, because a call for sober reflection, a call for renewal. Okay,
the Ramadan is a period of spiritual exercise.
It's a spiritual exercise to renew your faith in Allah, to seek His mercy, to seek His compassion, so that you will live a holy and a pleasing life. This period is a time where, if you're able to pass through it and come, there's always a blessing that comes with it. Even apart from the spiritual blessing, biologically, the health, by fasting, you are shedding all certain things that constitute to burden on weight on the body. For example, when you eat less this period now, you are going to lose so much sugar, so much weight. So all of this will contribute to quality heart beat and whatever. So all of these things are very, but for someone, and they try for also sober, they try to respect life. Even people that are maybe they have bad behavior, they tend to relax.
Of course, this period is showing that this period is
holy. They respect it. And for someone now to come out, that is a time to shed blood. It's very, very.
Yes, Ernest, it's quite unfortunate when I read it that what could have happened that for a man to stab his wife to death?
One is anger is there. There's a underlying anger in the life of the man. There's also level of frustration in the life of that man. What could have been the cause? So it's also where perhaps there is inadequacy, lack of communication, lack of freely expression of one's needs, desire, and also not being able to live within one's means and desire. So all of this will account for feeling of frustration, that you see your partner as being a source of challenges, a source of pain, a source of frustration, rather than be a source of joy, a source of comfort, a source of peace and love. So why is it there is that gap communication where you are no longer seeing the other party as a source of joy to me. Somebody who should be by me. So
Yes.
whatever that person is doing tend to irritate you, to provoke you. It becomes so annoying to a level where
You
the
have to
person will
pass the
now
anger
attack.
and
Now
attack.
getting to the level of pattern from his occupation, it becomes easier to translate to
To easily just stab anybody. So
because it's just
blood is
he has
not
seen
new. I've seen
he's used to
blood
blood.
every day.
He used to
What
slaughter, taking life in the terms of animal. So that's why ordinarily you should show respect before you take life of animal. You don't just take them carelessly. You should show respect. So that's why, because it is life. So unfortunately, people, even that, because it is an occupation of butcher, they tell you to eat that like you should take animals like it doesn't follow. Even animals, cow, they protest when they see their colleagues, they are being dragged away because they know they are not returning to the food. Sometimes they witness it. So that's why in cases some of them commit suicide, they experience depression and die while they are in the case, begin to wonder what happened. It is because of what they have experienced, witnessing the death of their. So with time they tend to suffer from depression.
Okay,
that can lead to
before we
death.
go away from the domestic affairs, Onyekon, do you have any question for Ernest on that issue?
So my question is, you mentioned like probably lack of communication and but I feel, is that enough reason? Like, should that be enough reason for you to now butcher your own wife? Like, I feel like there should be probably an inner grudge or probably a mistake. Like,
No, you see, all of these things are driven by anger and frustration. Listen, when you want to attain a goal and something, whether object or person or animal, tend to block you,
probably that's my mental
no,
health.
I will get there, block you. You will be looking at that goal and you couldn't get it, and you see somebody or object, whatever that stood in your way, that was the reason why you could not reach out to it, you will lash out. And in that state of anger and frustration, it impairs the sense of reasoning. It dulls your sense of judgment. You will never remember consequence. The intent is for you to just take that thing that is causing the obstacle. If it is object, you hit it, you throw
Just
it
take
away.
it away from you.
So at that level, you are not in the right frame of mind to judge consequence. So you are not. This doesn't is not reasonable enough at that period. So the mental state is not that heady momentarily to think of way option. So that is why I say when you are angry, don't act, don't take any decision at that moment, because you are not likely to take quality decisions. Even when you are also very, very happy, you should also not take decision, because you are likely to be committed to something you will later realize you have gone beyond your limit. So a high level of emotion, you don't act, take decision in that place. So you stay away from it. It is the reason wise people also they stay away. Something like cutlass, kitchen knife, gun, whatever. They take it away so that if you are angry, it may take time before you assess it. So that before you will go to
your anger will have gone down.
will have gone down. If you don't understand, that's how our elders, our ancestors, our parents, they were hunters, they were farmers. Every day they take cutlass to farm and back. So, but when they come back, they keep it. Sometimes they put it into a sheet, and to draw it out, it takes time. And so if the target also see it, the person can run away. But when you keep it in such a way, it can easily be pulled off just like that.
Just take it away.
It's not good, it's not proper. So that's why we should also be careful how we where we keep dangerous weapons. It is too easily to be assessed. It is not proper. Not just for your own sake. Any other person can assess it.
When you said when you are angry, don't take decision.
Yes.
Then when you're happy, don't take decision.
Okay.
Let's quickly leave just the domestic affairs. Only what do you have for another question for another? Let's look at another angle. Another people.
Okay. So let's talk about the current controversy about Bob Risky. So what do you think about the cross-dresser Like, what's your own opinion on the cross-dresser?
I will speak like a Nigerian. I will
Okay.
speak like I will speak as a
Journalist.
journalist. I also speak because I am a trained psychologist.
Okay.
Okay.
So, from our culture, culture is a way of life of our people. Our culture does not support that type of lifestyle. That's somebody who have known to be a man, a man. Suddenly, it change shape. It will alter the mind of people too. It will change the way they relate with you, the way they conceive. For them to really harmonize it quickly, it's a problem. It can cause some kind of discomfort in that somebody I have known to be a man who have been relating from youth, suddenly he now say he's a woman, or a woman who have known to be a woman now say she's a man. It create confusion. It can lead to aggression. People can attack the person, not for anything, for altering their mind.
For
altering their mind, because it will take them for them to reconcile.
Choosing to be a woman when you are a man.
Yes, because you create confusion. In an attempt to correct it, to bring them to normal, they may attack it that it no longer exists. Since I can't cope with it, so they better let this person be out of our environment, out of our culture, out of them. So it can trigger aggression. Because that is human nature, that is our culture. It's a strange behavior. So naturally what is strange, people react in a way. So if it is something that is harsh, like in that case, they will generally be hostile to it.
Don't you feel it's an negative influence of social media?
Yeah, that was what actually highlighted it. So that is from our culture, and also from general social media is highlighting also, and it's whether you want to admit it or not, it is an unhealthy influence. People are already going into that direction. There was someone from my own state, called maybe Brown, somebody like that, James Brown, that's also into it. There was another one that was before them, they call it Denre, it's a Yoruba name. Denre, something like that. So, so he put on this. So they were just like a woman. So you see him doing it. So such a thing send confusion around. When children see them with time, they don't know where to adapt to. Should I become a man or should I become a woman? So it sends confusion into. So before you know it, some people begin to imbibe that type of culture. Especially when the media is promoting it.
Now, from the angle you've made it now, don't you feel that is there anything government can do to address this situation so that it does not spread?
Now that is where I will now contribute as a psychologist.
Okay, now let's have
so you see, whether our culture condemns it, then it is based on inadequate information about such people. In my undergraduate days, it was classified as deviance behavior, some kind of, if it is sexual perversion, whatever, abnormal behavior, group under abnormal behavior. But after some time, it was removed. And they no longer see them discriminate against them. Now it has been based on knowledge, more exposure. It has been accepted as normal way. So I can tell you with confidence that some of these people, they are biologically wired that way.
Biologically wired that way?
Yes, there's nothing you can do. It's in our own culture now. They came out to the world with it. They are like people trapped. Maybe a female body trapped in a man's body. So they begin to rebel to become who originally is. So where do we begin? So research has done into their brain to see that their brain cell, what their brain has, the shape of the brain differ in a way from normal people. Are you following?
It should be from normal people.
And then from what we consider as normal people. Yeah,
for them to become abnormal.
So we begin to where does this thing come from? If you begin to look at it, where is it? So the error must have come somehow. There are many factors that it is biological. It could come from the first trimester during pregnancy, the first 3 months. That is where everything takes shape. It is like where there are, those people that do is it jackpot? When they play something big, that one begin to roll.
Okay,
so after some time,
points,
it settle at a particular point. So during a mutation process, the cells will just be doing as if you are missing ogi. It will just be so. After that, everybody will begin to go to different locations. That will be eyes will go there. The one that will be here will go. So begin to so if at a point in time there is an interruption, there is maybe maybe a gallop. Let's assume there is a gallop. It throws something up where it's supposed to go to the ear. It go and relocate to somewhere else.
Yes.
There will be problem. And if a particular area also carry more information that is supposed to carry more, there will also be problem. If it is also missing, it means it takes away some information away from the person. No matter how you want to feed that thing, it will not be, because what we collect that information is not there. Because it was missing from that's because something chromosomal aberration. The error will just occur there, and there's nothing you can do. Maybe congenital, some of them may be congenital. So unless by correction we begin to go into something like that, counseling. So the society need to brace up to accommodate people like that. To know that it is not their fault, it is not their making. There is nothing like demon involved. It is about how they are wired in. It's just like before, some people used to fear women that grow beards on the chest and whatever. The people are beginning to tolerate them down now. Because in our area, it's common.
Honestly, do we now say God made mistakes?
No, I don't want to go into that area also.
So, if the minds could be wired in such a way. I've said time when society, even some organization, they don't say, how can they went against same-sex marriage?
That is why, see, if you understand the whole biology of human beings, you shouldn't toy with human beings. Particularly children, as long as they are given birth to, you must protect them. For example, I have this mind that if I will advocate that children that are on their first year from age 1, that is age 1 month, if it's possible, to age 1, they should prepare maybe a helmet for them, so that they should not fall down. So sometimes, we grew up in Italy. I have taken care of children where sometimes they will fall backward. You use this place to hit the ground. With constant hitting, when you accumulate the impact, it will become as if the individual has gotten a major accident. As it begins to hit the ground, and there's something though there's something like a fluid that protects it, but with time, after you are still shaking it here and there, it will, by the time the accumulation effect will look like someone who has gotten a major accident. So it will affect the brain.
So I want us to move away from this one. Do you have anything to say? Because if you are just, if in case you are just joining this program, it is journalist explain this on Nstv Lagos, and our guest is Ernest Wokolo, the correspondent of the Nation newspaper. I'm looking about the happenings in our daily newspaper today. What do you have?
Okay, sir. On this controversy, what do you now think about his abuse of Naira in this current economy?
Yeah.
That's another area.
Yes. You see, the abuse of Naira is long. It has been there, but it's let's say something that started from the 90s, and it got worse since the return of democracy. But much more was in the last 8 years or 10 years. But it is in the current state. So why is it? It's not. We have laws that are against this. It is a job because we have not been implementing it. And it is the reason why suddenly our money lost, our currency, the naira note, lost its value. Now, Nigerians that were abusing it, as they said, they were no longer contented with abusing. They even began to bring in dollars into that. Naira was no longer enough. They began to. So you will see him. Guess what? Where they are doing is they will lock it up against people coming into it. But police, security agencies guide them. And they know an infraction is going on. They didn't do anything about it. It tells you how our security agency president have not been patriotic, have not been implementing or defending the law and executing it.
So they've compromised.
Terribly compromised, because we're there to be up and doing with implementing. Well, whether a police officer is, you are finished for today's work and you are going home, you see somebody committing a crime, you can make a call to the next day. See what is going on. It's as a part of moral responsibility, even though you are not on duty that hour.
But for the fact that
a law enforcement agent, you must not see where crime is taking place. You say, I have closed for today. No, that is wrong. Even in African culture, when you see children misbehaving, an elder should not walk away just like that. You should intervene. Stop that. Don't do this thing again. Let alone people who have been entrusted with the responsibility to protect the law, implement it, execute it. But they are not working about it. So that is it. It is just of late. If they should not begin to go about it, there will be sanity. Our money will regain its true value. And I believe now is the time to act. And I will commend this government. No honesty. Without being, at the risk of anybody saying whatever to do. This government, they are taking 3 bold steps personally I have seen. One, in this area of this foreign, I think it has gotten its bearing. This foreign, they are tackling this dollar matter, and the price is going. You can now see this, and everything that the government is getting is bearing now. So people are beginning to know
because
where
people are wondering that you want to transfer in Nigeria. Yes. We are talking about dollars in Nigeria.
Yes, so you can see the step he's taking. It's now taking grip of the situation, because you cannot fight a system by saying looking to make arrests. You just destroy the structure that feed them. It's by efficient policy. For example, now they will no longer use the dollar to serve as collateral for loans in Nigeria. So you can see so many steps they are taking. Now, today, it is at $1 is now $1 to that's 1,120 naira, and we are praying and working constantly. It will drag down.
Yes,
it may begin to fall less than 1,000 naira, and that is a good thing. So, EFCC, the police, they should go after people that are abusing our naira. Say they should not go for the small ones. They should go for the big ones. You need to. So they should begin. Some of those film or video clips that are in circulation, they should not begin to use them to find out those who were involved in that blatant abuse of our naira. Desecrating our culture, making it look as if it is about wealth without enterprise. You don't know how they come. People look at Dangote, Otedola, big men. They can't spray money that way. What is the source of such wealth? People are throwing away. You will see heap of it. How much tax have they been paying? There is need to ask questions.
Okay, so even today in the newspaper today, they said the schools, the hotels, don't transact business in Nigeria in dollars.
Yes,
it should be in naira. So now let's go away now. See, in case just go for a break, and when we come back, now go away. We now come back to Ogun State, where His Excellency Abiodun appointed Mr. Kehinde Onosanya as the head of service. What do you say about that?
Okay. Yes, it's a good development. This is a young man humble, a seasoned administrator, and somebody who has that the knack to navigate across all stratas of the society, all sorts of people. So he is the right person for the right job, and is dynamic. And I know without
very young,
so
approachable.
It's going to be a good time for Ogun State and the people in the civil service.
So it's a plus to the government.
It's a plus to the government.
So having putting the
right
wrong peg in the wrong.
Yes.
Okay, now. So as we conclude today, they just will be saying that we are as Nigerians, we should be up and doing. Do you have any question for any as we close today? You want to explain this on Nstv Lagos?
That's
You have to do this. I want to say thank you for honoring our invitation for being part of today's newspaper review on the Nstv. And that journalists explain this. So it's been quite of some time now talking to you, a journalist explain this. Until next when they come your way, I remain your friend, take on this way and doing. And our guest today is the correspondent of the newspaper, the Nation newspaper, Ogun State, Ernest Nwokolo. I used to call him Chief. Nwokolo. One of these, we're going to get the feather. So, until another time we come away, thank you and God bless you.